Hello, welcome to another wiki procedure, and today we're going to look on how you can import goods into Kenya. Down here below, we have given you a link which is going to direct you to our wiki procedure website page, where we have given you detailed information detailing on how you can import goods into Kenya. On our right hand side of our screen, we have given you a select language option through which you can select the language which you find easy for you to comprehend or understand. For example, by choosing Swahili, all the information on this wiki procedure website page will be translated to Swahili, and you'll be able to read through with ease, and you can easily revert back to English by once again clicking this downward pointing arrow and choosing English again, and everything will be translated back to its original format. We've included external links to other websites where you can get more information on how to import into Kenya. And more importantly, we have included a link to the East African Community Common External Tariff, which is a link to the Common External Tariff of all the East African Community nations. And through this, you can have a glimpse or get to estimate the amount of tariff which you're going to pay depending on which product you want to import in Kenya. And you can easily download this handbook through these links. And you can also follow these other links and get more information on how you can import into Kenya. We have also included a link to the import declaration form, and through this form you're supposed to declare what you have imported into Kenya, and this you're supposed to submit to the customs office, they're going to use the information that you're provided here to calculate the import duty and tax you're supposed to pay. And we are going to see how you're supposed to fill this form and where to submit it as we move on with our presentation today. But before we move on with our presentation, I'll urge you to go ahead and hit the like button on our YouTube page and hit the subscribe button so you can get information every time we upload new content in our wiki procedure YouTube channel. So let's get back to our presentation. And the list of items which we are going to cover in this session include the need for importation, the eligibility, the required documents, steps to follow while making the application, the fees, validity period, processing time, office location and contact information, and any other information that we may find relevant on how to import goods into Kenya. So welcome to our presentation today, which is brought to you by wikiprocedure.com. The need for importation. Importation allows one to bring goods into Kenya from other countries. The eligibility criteria is that any person aged 18 years and above can import goods into the country. The following are the documents required when importing goods into the country: a certificate of conformity for regulated products, an import standards mark when and if applicable, a valid commercial invoice from the exporting firm, a valid pro forma invoice from the exporting firm, a bill of lading or airway bill, certificate of origin, freight invoice for sea cargo, logbook and its translation if the logbook is not in English, a permit or license for restricted good, a PIN certificate, an exemption letter in case goods are exempted, a purchase orders, certificate of roadworthiness for motor vehicles, parking list, letter of credit, parking list and a letter of credit. Steps to follow while making the applications are as follows. You need to know that duties and taxes are levied on any imported and exported goods before being released from the customs, except goods qualifying for special privileges according to the laws and regulations whereby the duties and taxes are exempted. And this application can be made in person, and if you are applying in person, it's advisable to use the services of a clearing agent who can facilitate the process of preparing the necessary customs documents. And when engaging your preferred clearing agent, ensure you provide all the importation documents which you have already mentioned earlier. And the clearing agent will ensure that all the required documentation are attached, and is going to submit it on your behalf to the Customs Service Department. And with the assistance of your clearing agent, you are required to declare the goods you are importing into the customs system, and you will be required to fill an import declaration form which the clearing agent will going to use to make entries into the customs system. We are going to go through the import declaration form, so you can see how it's going supposed to fill it as we move on with the presentation. So the customs will then check the documents which you have provided and release the goods for verification. And verification will be done by the customs together with other interested regulatory bodies, for example the Kenya Bureau of Standards, to determine the type, quantity and quality of goods. The verification will also determine the duties and tax payable on the imported goods, and this is determined using the East African Community Common External Tariff. We have a link in our wiki procedure website page where you can download this handbook, and you can predetermine the amount of tax or duty which you are going to be charged for the imported goods. You can easily download this from our wiki procedure website. And after this, the agent will be issued with a release order, and with the release order you are required to pay the tax, duty and port charges, after which the goods will be released to the clearing agent or you, the importer. And after payment, you can now collect your goods and transport them to your area of destination. The fees are as follows. An import declaration fee, IDF, of 2.25% of the CIF value, that is cost, insurance and freight value, subject to a minimum of 5,000 Kenya shillings, is payable. Customs will assess the duty payable depending on the values of the items and duty rate applicable. The East African Community Common External Tariff lays out the duty rates of imported items. Is available on in our wiki procedure website page, and you can download it from there. The validity period is forever. The processing time, it depends on the mode of importation and the distance between Kenya and the exporting country. The office location for the Kenya Revenue Authority, we have the Forodha House, JKL department, and from there you can visit the customs department, and you can issue and you can submit your documents there. And you can also visit them through their website of www.kra.go.ke. The KBS is an interested party in importation, for they'll take part in determining the quality of the goods. And you can also contact them. They are located at Popo Road off Mombasa Road, and you can visit them through their website of www.kebs.org. Other information is that to import any commodity into Kenya, an importer will have to enlist the services of a clearing agent who will process the import documentation through the Kenya Customs electronically on the Simba 2005 system and clear the goods on your behalf. Kenya has a pre-shipment inspection requirement, which is the pre-shipment verification of conformity for exports destined to Kenya. And exports to Kenya must also obtain an additional import standard mark, which must be affixed to a list of sensitive imported products sold in Kenya. And all imports are required to have the following documents: that's the import declaration form, a certificate of conformity from the PVOC agent for regulated products, an import standard mark when applicable, and a valid pro forma invoice from the exporting firm. All imports produced by Kenyan-based importers must be issued with the company's license to conduct business in Kenya. So thank you for watching. But before we finish our presentation, I would like us to just have a quick look on the import declaration form. So through this form, you're required to give the details of the importer here. the details of the one who has sold the goods, where you are importing from, the PIN certificate, the contact information of the seller's name, the PIN certificate and contact information of you as an importer, country of supply, point of discharge, mode of transport. You need to indicate if the country you're bringing from is a COMESA, market country, the currency and exchange rate, which currency you use to buy the goods with, the freight, the insurance charges and other charges, transaction terms. You need now here to list list the full description of the goods which you have brought, if they are new or used, the country of origin, the quantity, and through this declaration the custom clearing agent is going to fill this information into the Simba 5000 system, and through that the customs are now going to come and they're going to release your goods for inspection. And if everything coincides with what you have declared here, they're going to determine the amount of duty and tax through the common external tariff, and they're going to give a release order to the custom agent, and with the release order you're now supposed to go and pay for the tax and duties applicable, and your goods will be released. So it's that simple. And before we finish, I urge you again to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, so you can get notifications every time we upload new content into our channel. So tell a friend to tell a friend about Wiki Procedure, and I wish you all the best in importing goods into Kenya. So be blessed.